What's up? All right, today I'm gonna do a quick video. Actually, it'll probably end up being kind of long, but I'm gonna try to move quickly, and I'm just gonna show you guys my updated collection. Last time I did a collection, I really only had one frame that was made by another person, and I've got a bunch of them now. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of an updated collection. I still have a bunch of those other Slingshots, but I'm not really gonna go through them today. I'm going to go through a couple of the ones that I made that I shoot a lot and that I like a lot and that I've made since the last time I made the collection video. But I'm also going to show you what I got in my collection as of right now. So we'll start with my Simple Shot collection, the Ocularis that my lovely wife painted. I love the way these things look, man. I got the plugs in there right now, but no bands on it. I like the way that this thing feels. It's a little bit awkward for me to shoot, I should say, because I'm very used to flat tips, so the rounded tips kind of throw me off a little bit. I picked this up at the Southeast Slingshot tournament. It's a knockoff Scout. This is one of those HDP ones made in China, or wherever it's made. Actually, you know, I got this off the trade table, so I didn't buy that one. But my Sparrow, again, my wife colored it, and we fixed it up so that it's ready to go. I like shooting this thing, especially with a longer draw, like a butterfly style. Probably my third or fourth favorite frame ever is the Torque, and I got one that's got clips on there that I left orange because I do really like that Hunter orange color. And I kept the clips on there, on that one. And then this one that my buddy Joe sent to me, and I colored it up. I do wrap and tuck on this one. I love the Torque. It, like I said, is probably my third most favorite frame ever. Third or fourth, I would say. And then last but not least, my Scout LT. Again, my wife painted. I keep the clips on this one because I like to alternate between going OTT and TTF. I'm not a huge TTF shooter, but I do enjoy it from time to time just to do something a little bit different. I got the thumb screws on this one as opposed to the Torque, which just has the regular bolts. On the bottom of the Torque, I also keep a quarter so that I can cinch those down if I need to. Just drilled a hole in the quarter and put it at the end of the lanyard. But this has got the thumb screws, so I don't need that. And I love this thing, man. Honestly, it's great for a pinch grip. It's great for a brace grip. I actually brace grip it up top like that instead of where you're actually supposed to brace grip it like that. That's my Simple Shot collection. And poof, through the magic of editing, even though my editing skills are horrible, this is the rest of it. These are the frames, I should say these are the cores that you can buy, that you could buy from Simple Shot at one point. Got a couple of the Axiom designs here. And this one I just roughly sanded so that it was smooth on my finger there, and then I grinded edge into here so I can sit my thumb in there. And I do like the way it shoots, but I don't know. I just wanted it to add to my collection, really. I don't shoot it that often. This one I made the resin scales for, and glued it up. I love this thing. I love the way that it came out, that resin, the browns and the greens and the sort of white gold in there. I really do love that. And then this one's like an EDC for me. I do band this one up and shoot it from time to time. I actually really like this thing. It's super thin. I did a paracord wrap on it real quick. But it's very comfortable, and the paracord wrap actually helps it. I can take this out any time of the year. I don't have to worry about it getting too hot or too cold for my hand to grip it with the paracord on there. And I also kept the slots in there so I can set it up for tubes, even though I hate tubes and I never shoot tubes. Alright, so moving on here, I got a couple of these. These are the really cheap frames that I bought off Amazon, where you get like two of them for $12 or something. They actually shoot fine. I mean, they're weird plastic. They're not really metal at all. I pinch grip when I shoot these. I only hang on to these because you know, occasionally I'll have somebody come over that's sort of an amateur with slingshots, and I don't want them to shoot my expensive frames because they'll get frame hits, and I won't like that. But this one I prefer. It fits my hand way better just because it's a slightly bigger size. The fork tips are also wider, so I can put nice wide bands on it. This is a GZK frame. It's got the little pinch tuck matchstick method. I like to shoot quarter ammo with this. It reminds me a lot of the Descenders that I shoot. The Descenders are aluminum, and I'm pretty sure this is steel because it's nice and heavy. So I actually prefer this over the Descenders from time to time, and the reason is because of the weight in my hand. I really like that one. I bought that on eBay, I think. This one we picked up at the Southeast tournament. My daughter actually grabbed it off of the trade table. I got a couple of little tickets for her, and she ended up grabbing this one. She's a huge fan of blue. It's her absolute favorite color. And I got some nice light TheraBand gold bands on there for her. She's starting to experiment with through the fork shooting. So we're going to see how she likes that for a little while. It's the Unifox by Wasp. It's actually a really comfortable little frame, and it's super lightweight, really thin. You could easily put that in your pocket. Another super pocketable frame, the Hornet by Fowler. HDPE, love this thing. It's basically indestructible. I really like this thing, again, for distance shooting because the fork width is a little bit more narrow than what I'm used to. And the shrink wrap tubing on there is actually a really nice touch. Can't say enough good things about these simple frames like that, the Unifox and everything, but I gotta show it. I still love it. It's my Evo, stainless steel. This thing is heavy duty, and it looks brand new, and I actually shoot this thing frequently enough that it shouldn't look like this. Just lucky enough not to get any fork hits on it, knock on wood. But this is definitely my second favorite design. I don't shoot this one as often as I shoot the one that I made, which I'll show you in a minute, but oh man, it's just great. This thing is amazing. Alright, continuing to move along. I also picked this up off the trade table at the Southeast tournament. A+ Slingshots. I can't remember the name of the guy. I can't read that. Sorry. 2018, I guess. Anyway, super wide. My little 3-year-old daughter picked this up at the Southeast tournament, and she loves it. I banded it up with little rubber band bands for her so she can shoot. She really likes that one. Got this in a trade. I traded one of my polycarbonate frames for this guy. I'm going to try to do my best to sort of clean up the couple of fork hits that are in there. But so far, I really like this thing. It's brass, very heavy, and G10 with some clips on there. A lanyard hole as well. It's an SPS. It's the only SPS I've ever had, and it's probably the only SPS I'll ever have. I don't typically like that frame very much. It's pretty comfortable, but I'm just not a fan of the ones that have the holes for the tubes. This one I'd make an exception for, though, obviously. Got me a Fern Forks slingshot. I was super pumped that my middle child wanted this one off the trade table. I did get a couple of tickets for each of them, so they got to pick some stuff, like souvenirs from the trip. Super well done. Very nice finish on this. I love that Axiom design on there. Nice rounded tips as well. She also shoots rubber bands as of right now, so. Couple that I'm some of the most proud of to own is these Moan Waller frames. I traded Josh Dills for this at the Southeast tournament for one of my nicer Yetis, and I was so stoked to be able to get something like this. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Moan Waller's work, and to get the S2 with this sort of red and black, Venom Carnage looking, I don't know, it's just beautiful. Shoots well, holds well. I can't get enough of these things, and Set this one up with some extra long TheraBand gold so I can practice my butterfly, my half butterfly shooting with it. And then you guys have seen this one before, the S1. Still in love with this thing. Still shoot it all the damn time. I'm a big fan of sort of earth tones, and yellow is my absolute favorite color. So to be able to get this sort of yellowish, goldish, wood inlaid S1 here, I just love this thing, man. You can tell I shoot it a lot because these bands, they have had their day, and they are not that old. Posted a picture of this the other day on my Instagram and Facebook. This little Ray Bazanski made Axiom Champ is so nice, man. I put this in my pocket. I don't even notice it's there. It's so tiny. I got some BB bands, some 1/4-inch bands on there right now. And I actually got this pouch that Mr. Can Vandal sent to me. Said a buddy of his made. This is super nice, and I shoot clay ammos out of this. Clay ammos and 1/4-inch steel. But yeah, the design on this, obviously the design is a classic, but the actual build is just awesome. Orange G10 in there. I don't even know what kind of wood this is, but I don't really care because it's just gorgeous. And then in another trade, I, as you know, I'm a big fan of pickle forks, and I got this one from Mr. Can Vandal as well. I think Hunter from Taking Shots made this guy. It got a little bit scratched up, and that's my fault. It didn't come to me like this. So I don't want anybody out there thinking that that's the workmanship on it. But that is my fault because I put this in my bag with a bunch of other Slingshots, and I just kind of let it sit there in the bag, carried it back and forth a little bit, and I didn't try to protect it. Normally, I'll put them inside of like a plastic bag or something so that they don't get bumped around and stuff. But I love this thing, man, and I'm going to go out and do some pickle fork shooting with it very soon. I have a little mooch planned for a few days from now, so hopefully weather cooperates and we can do that. But I love this thing. All right, continuing to move on. I got a couple of my my really tiny pocketable guys here. This is actually a descender that I put some epoxy in, and just to give it a little bit of splash of color. But these are big 0.75 bands. These are hunting bands. I carry this with me when I'm out, trying to take a couple squirrels and stuff, just as a backup. But I shoot this thing often enough that these descenders are still in my top 5 favorite frames. This one came to me, and it's just slightly larger than normal. If you notice what the normal descenders look like, so like the size differences between them, like this one's just thicker overall. It's a little bit wider fork tip, couple millimeters. It makes a difference. And I have big hands, so I prefer the bigger one by far. But I still have a couple of these, and actually I wanted to do like a gypsy style with the tabs and tubes, and I put this great big pouch on there. Again, Mr. Can Vandal sent that to me. This shoots fine. It's just so heavy and obnoxious, and tubes suck. So I don't shoot it very often. It's really more for like something different once in a while when I'm just messing around. This one's the only one of these like squared off ones that I've ever bought and made. It's the only one actually that I've ever bought and made. And I put some epoxy in there, same as on all these, just for a little bit of color. I do like this one a lot. I do shoot it, but just doesn't have any bands on there right now. I prefer to shoot this one semi butterfly or full butterfly as well. Actually, only semi. I don't shoot full butterfly. And then these are my BFS shooters. So you guys can take a look here at the 3 that I like to keep on hand. And the 3 that I like to keep on hand are this polycarbonate one, which is only 3/8 inch thick, fits in your pocket, so clean looking. I shoot 0.45 beat, and I shoot a 1/4 inch steel out of that one. This one's set up for 8 mil ammo, so there's 0.6 bands on there with a little bit more narrow cut. And one of these pouches that Wayne Martin sent to me, I really like those pouches, but I can't fit a 9.5 ball in there very well, so I end up shooting, actually I shoot it like that, yeah. So I end up shooting the 8 mils out of there, and actually this is bamboo. It's made from a cutting board. It's 2 layers glued together, and then I stained it. This was the original BFS. This was the first one that I ever made, and I'll probably never sell it just because of that, but I do love this thing a lot. It's a lot of use. And then my souvenir from the East Coast Slingshot tournament that I made for myself, little Natty BFS. This is the second Natty BFS that I made. I liked the first one so much. I had to fill in a little gap in the wood there with some epoxy, but I don't know what kind of wood this is, but it's gorgeous. I love this thing. These are 0.6 Falcon yellow, and I shoot 1/4 inch out of those as well. So last but not least, certainly not least, are the ones that I keep that I've made for myself. And these are the ones that I've made for myself that I actually shoot. So first and foremost, I still love this thing, man. It actually is more comfortable than the plastic ones that were actually made by Simple Shot. And that's because I made it to fit my hand. You know, it's only beveled on one side there. Nice rounded fork tip on this side for my finger. I love that fork gap width. Shoots so great, holds so great. I'll never sell this thing. I love it so much. Pins are in there really for looks, but I do have a pin going down this way through there for strength in this fork arm, because I'm not 100% sure that would be strong enough. It's pretty thin. The Evo, probably second or third favorite Slingshot design ever. This is one that I made. I got the core from Mr. Wayne Martin. And recently I put band grooves in it. I know y'all are gonna jump all over me for using band grooves, because I hate them, and I'm not afraid to talk about how much I hate them, but band grooves are fine. I just like to make them once in a while, and especially on a Slingshot that I'm gonna hunt with, and I will definitely hunt with this one. Aluminum core and felt micarta faces with the red and black. I showed this to Wayne, and he called it the Red Baron Evo, so that's what I'm going to call it from now on too. And I got a little aluminum steel pin and aluminum lanyard hole in there. I actually used this at the Southeast tournament, and I got second place in the knockdown tournament with it, so I'm really happy about that as well. A couple of Yetis that I've made. The Yeti 2.0, aka the Sasquatch. Nice thin profile on whatever type of wood this is. I smoothed this up. It's one of the first woods that I ever polished, and I think I did an excellent job, if I do say so myself. Very smooth, nice and symmetrical. I'll probably put thinner bands on that and shoot some clays and 1/4 inch out of it, because I do like to do that from time to time. So lightweight and super pocketable. Yeah, this is going to be like my Southeast tournament souvenir that I make for myself. I like to do that every trip that I take. I also made myself a polycarbonate and wood Yeti. I also put band grooves on this one. Notice I did not on the natural. But with this one, I got some pins in there. I do like the pins. I don't think that they're necessary. I think that this would stick together just fine. And I got a carbon lanyard hole. I tried to put green mica powder in the glue that I glued these together with, and that's why you'll see like these green sort of highlights back in there. It didn't come out like I thought it was going to, but I did break this thing when I was putting the lanyard hole in there, so I just jacked it up with the drill. So I glued it together using the same green mica powder, and I actually don't think it looks too bad at all now. Sort of got some weird accents to it, so you know, it's an experiment. It's the first one that I made with the polycarbonate backing, so you know, I'll keep it forever. And I got some .75 hunting bands on there. These are tapered 2415. These are yellow, the Falcon yellow, with one of the big Simple Shot pouches on there for my 11 mil steels. I carry that when I'm hunting as well, again, as a backup. I usually carry at least one Yeti. I'll take this from time to time, and then I also will carry that Descender with me, just because I know it's rugged and it'll hold up to whatever abuses I give to it. This was the Yeti that I shot at the East Coast Slingshot tournament. Good enough for 4th place there. I got some natural latex precise on there. I do like that stuff a lot. This was a little bit of an experiment. I tried to make myself a pit pouch by just heating up the ball and setting it in there, and it worked pretty good. These bands are super short because they're very, very stretchy. They're just not that fast, but it's fun to shoot. I like that a lot. Nice spalted, whatever type of wood that is. This is also an experiment that will potentially have more coming its way. I got a polycarbonate core, as you can see, with the micarta, canvas micarta facing, a few pins in there as well. Don't have a lanyard hole. I wish I would have put one in here. But you know, going forward, we'll see. That might be something that I do. I do want to make these, but I need to figure out how to make them better before I start to make them for sale. This one came out really good, but I finished it very quickly just so I could see how I would need to work it and how it would come out. But I do like this one. Very, very accurate with this one. Pins are off, and you know, the stuff was just off with this one, so I didn't put it out there. I'm gonna keep this one as a little lesson to myself, I guess. And lastly, my new favorite, absolutely my favorite, my favorite Yeti that I've ever made, my favorite Sasquatch that I've ever made. Yellow liner with felt micarta, gray and yellow facing, 2 cores that are each 1/8 inch aluminum lanyard hole, and it does have 3 pins that are steel, one in the middle here, and one you can kind of see they're in the forks there, so you can kind of see that one. There's a matching one over here as well. These got 0.75 on there right now with a little bit thinner cut because I was shooting 9.5 mil steel with these, but I love this thing. It has been excellent to me. I used this at the Southeast tournament. Good enough to get 4th place, and I don't see myself switching to a different frame quite yet. This thing I built for me to my specs, and I love this thing, man. I love this thing. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Sorry, it's not the best video or the best quality or whatever, but I just wanted to update with the Slingshots that I've been using and shooting with. So, yeah, like the video and share it if you want, and comment and let me know which ones you like the most. And I'll see you on the next one.